Once again, it seems to be the done thing to bash on Super7, and I have had nothing but a positive experience. So now I will put my reputation on the line as I take a look at my first ever Ultimates from Super7. Welcome back. Now, as I just said, I'm about to put my reputation on the line because up until this point I have been highly complimentary of Super7, and I'm talking about their reaction figures. I think the figures are great, the packaging is great, the customer service is great. I have had no complaints whatsoever. However, these are my first ever Ultimates. Now, these both represent the band Ghost. We have Papa Emeritus I, Papa Emeritus II. Now, how about this for packaging? I think these look absolutely amazing as is. And on the back, we have the band's Ghost logo. But on the front, we have the crucifix, which I think looks great. But it gets better. These are slip cases. So you slip off the outer case and we get this beautiful sort of cathedral window type display box. And it's the exact same on the second one here. Now, it pains me to say this, but as you know, I open everything, or almost everything, and you can't do an action figure review without taking it out the package. However, I can understand why people would keep something like this in box, because that looks absolutely fantastic with this sort of cathedral window effect and the figure, you know, in his pose there. Fantastic. But we can't do an action figure review just by talking about it in a box. We've got to get these opened up and give them a real good close look. So let's go get these out the packet. So straight out the packet, we get the figure, and there's two sort of layers to the packaging here. We have the second gown and a ton of accessories here. Now, you will have to excuse my ignorance. I am not of the Catholic faith. I only know these as holy smokers, I guess is a proper name for them, but we get two of those. We've got a mic stand with a microphone. We've got 6 additional hands and 2 heads. Now, I should point out as well that this incarnation of Papa Emeritus was from the debut album Opus Eponymous, and at the beginning of that tour, Tobias Forge, who plays the Papa, was wearing a black gown, and towards the end he was wearing the white gown, hence the reason you can pick which look that you wish to display. But I want to see what the figure looks and feels like. So when we pull them out of the packaging here, you know what, I really hate these inlays that are being used on figures because they pack them in so tight. And I've already mentioned that on the case of a few of my Batman figures from McFarlane, they've been put in so tight that the bat ears have been kind of bent. So there we go, it's coming, but I always fear yanking these things out in case something breaks off. But and of course the cape goes through the back, or the gown I should say. Right, there we go. And just pull the gown through. I mean, I understand why they do this so the item doesn't rattle around in shipping, but it does pose its own problems as well. We've got Velcro. This is nice. So anyway, this is interesting. Now, I'm wondering if for the second incarnation of Papa that we have coming up shortly, if they've used the same body, because this is kind of like the suit that the Papa wears when he's not dressed up in his full regalia, but we'll get to that when we open that second figure. But we have Velcro dots inside the gown that I guess can then secure it in place. Yes. Yep. And yep. So it gives it a more sort of natural looking flow to the gown. That is nice. I do like that. The gown itself, very well made actually. It's been nicely lined, which is good. and it seems secure enough to me. It does have foot pegs, which could come in handy because this gown has quite a bit of weight to it. And does it stand? It does stand, but again, I would use a figure stand for that. Articulation wise, we've got, let me take this gown off in fact. So we have, I guess the head has to come off first. That was painless. So, oh, he's even got armholes. So the gown, okay, this is pretty good. So the figure's arms go through a loop and then it goes over. So let me just see if I can get this off. Wow. This is very well put together, actually, if not a bit of a pain in the ass to work with, but there we go. So the figure itself, I guess you would call it a pretty standard 6-inch figure. Articulation, I think pretty much as per your normal sort of Black Series figure. Feels safe enough to move around. I'm not in any danger of breaking anything, and I think that looks pretty good actually. Yeah, he can splay his legs out. Now, can he stand up like this? Yeah, he stands, but again, use a figure stand if you have one. Now, we have a lot of interchangeable hands here. So let me just test one of those out. So I guess just pop off. Oh, that was pretty straightforward. Could that break? Potentially, but if you're careful, it should be okay. And let me try a different hand. Oh, again, these things are very hard to get out. What a pain this is. Right, and I've taken the wrong bloody side. Should really prepare these things in advance, but this is the beauty of unscripted TV, I guess. So, let me just see how well this pops in. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. And that, I'm guessing, is the microphone holding hand. So let me just see how that works out. Yeah, very well. Can he get it to his mouth? Not sure. Not really, but it has a mic stand anyway, so you don't need to have him holding it. But again, this looks a bit ridiculous because he would never have his headpiece on with the suit underneath. But as I said, the gown very well constructed with numerous points to get it to attach to the figure. So that is very impressive. And again, we have, I keep calling it a holy smoker. Someone can comment below, what are these things actually called in the Catholic Church? Is holy smoker, is that an offensive term? I don't know, sounds like something Robin would say. But anyway, this was Papa Emeritus I. And don't worry, I'm going to get these set up and we'll do some nice sort of video montage of these figures, how they should be displayed. So this was number 1. Let's go on, check out number 2. So with Papa Emeritus II, it's the exact same deal where we get the figure in his gown on the top layer, and underneath we get the accessories, and this time we get the alternate head, microphone mic stand, the crucifix staff, and again 6 extra pairs of hands. Now this one is more interesting. We also get the holy smoker here as well. It was stashed down the side. Now this one I think is more interesting because of the alternate head, which comes with a nice little fedora hat. Now this was when Ghost were doing their second album, the Infesta Sumum album, and in fact for the video for the song Year Zero, Papa Emeritus appears in his civilian attire with the bald head, the shades and the hat, hence the inclusion in this pack. So I'm going to get this one out. Exactly the same deal as the first one in terms of the gown, although this one does have a beautiful green lining to it. And as I suspected, the body is the exact same as the first figure we just looked at. So I'm assuming that when Super7 made the first one, they knew they would be doing this one, hence they didn't have to recast a body for the second one. We'll get to that shortly. Oy. So, same deal with the arm slots and the Velcro dots to secure it, which works quite well actually. And there we go. That looks absolutely fantastic. Now, I think the attraction for this second figure is the fact that you can make him as he appeared in the Year Zero video. So we're going to do that right now. So it'll be a case of off with his head, get the gown off, and see how he looks in everyday life. And I guess, if you so wished, I know that Ghost did a live session and Tobias Forge performed the songs looking like this with the bald head and the sunglasses. So, stick the head on. There we go, nice satisfying pop there. Yeah, this one looks good actually. Got to get the arms the correct way. Yeah, exactly the same body, I think. I'll do a side-by-side photo so you can tell for yourselves. But yeah, this one looks really good. And nice sort of rubbery texture to the blazer here. That's good. And again, can he stand up? Yes, he can. Yep, foot peg, so no worries there. Now he does come with a fedora hat, so let's see how this works out. Yeah, that sits on rather nicely. So there we go. There is Papa Emeritus II as seen in the Year Zero video, but I'm going to get these set up and do some dramatic shots to show you how these will look on display. So, couple of points to mention before we get to that. One, am I happy with these? Very happy. Am I surprised at the quality? Not really. As I said, I have been nothing but impressed with Super7, and these have equally impressed me. Now, the price point, I think circa $55 possibly. Is that too much? Absolutely it's too much, but a couple of points to remember. Super7, much smaller company than your Hasbros and your Mattels. They are licensing these. Bearing in mind, Super7 have a plethora of 80s franchises under their wing. And I'm glad they do because, as you know, all things 80s and all that good stuff. But for me, what, 35 bucks maybe? In saying that though, there's some real quality with this. I mean, this gown itself is really, really well constructed and just quite beautiful actually, and all the extras. So yeah, for all of you folks that are continuously bashing Super7, I'd love to know if you are one of those. Please leave a comment, tell me why you hate Super7, because again, they have absolutely come through for me. Anyway, enough waffling. Let's get some of these set up and see how they look on display. So there you go, Papa Emeritus, the first and second, courtesy of Super7. So do not believe everything you read on the internet. I have not found any problems with these whatsoever, aside from possibly the price being a little bit too high, but there are reasons for that. So once again, you can call me one very happy Super7 customer. So I hope you enjoyed that look there at these ghost figures. And if you did, please drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I urge you, please like the video, please share the video, make sure you're subscribed, and stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.